It's the station with the most news in South Texas. From KRIS Studios, this is KRIS News at 6 in HD.
A large explosion levels a Texas plant and leaves people living nearby fearful that their fresh air could be contaminated. And police want your help finding a school board member accused of sexually assaulting a child. But we begin tonight with 2 fires around the city, and investigators believe vandals could have started one of those fires. The fire started around 2 o'clock this morning at this empty church in the 2900 block of Buddy Lawrence. Fire investigators say it looks suspicious, but right now they're not sure if it is arson. There was no one in the church when firefighters put out the smoke. They took down the fire pretty quick, and no one was hurt. An aquarium's lights, kind of odd. That may be to blame for a fire on Monitor Street today. Firefighters think the light somehow ignited and then spread throughout the bedroom of this house. Crews smothered the flames in no time and said other than the bedroom, the rest of the house is fine and it's okay to live in, so the people who live here won't have to find somewhere else to stay this weekend. A warrant has been issued for the arrest of a Kingsville school board member. Police say 41-year-old Rudy Macareno sexually assaulted a child. He's also wanted in 1 count of indecency with a child. A grand jury indicted Macareno this week, but we just called the Clayburgh County Jail and they say so far he hasn't been booked. Alice police released a sketch of the man who stole a car Monday morning with a 3-year-old little girl in the back seat. So scary. Here it is. Police say the man jumped into a running car and sped off with the toddler sleeping soundly in the back. Police say the child's mother left her car running as she dropped her son off with a babysitter. Police found the car with the little girl inside about an hour later. If you know who did this, call Alice Crime Stoppers at 664-7867. In state news, a huge explosion leveled a plant in LaPorte, Texas this morning. That's about 25 miles southeast of Houston. 1 person is missing and another was hurt in the blast at a cylinder plant. Firefighters got to air liquid cylinder plant after people living nearby called 911. The explosion also triggered a fire. Industrial gases like nitrogen and hydrogen are inside the plant, and hazmat crews have been monitoring the air quality, but so far, good thing. So far, nothing's been detected that would hurt people living in the area, but of course, they're still concerned, rightfully so. Investigators are looking into the cause. May not be perfect weather for planting, but people showed up nonetheless for a spring planting party at the city's first community garden. The people here reserved a plot in this massive garden bed at Lindale Park. There's 32 beds, and today gardeners worked on planting their tomatoes, which should be ready by the end of next month. Corpus Christi was one of only 10 cities all across the country to get a grant to start up a community garden, and they've made big plans on the future of this project.
We have a big dream here. We actually want to show people how we can be more sustainable, grow your own food. There's a project for rain harvesting, and there's talks also of community compost.
It's music to recyclers' ears, right? We're talking about recycling glass instead of throwing it in a landfill. It takes forever for that stuff to decompose. Today, people who've been saving empty bottles and jars loaded their glass trash and hauled it over to Yorktown Baptist Church today. Some of the glass will be ground up and used for utility projects. We also found one lady out there today who uses the glass to make jewelry and dishes.
I just tried experimenting, and it became, a passion of mine where just every day I spend about 7 hours on glass.
There will be other events just like this one throughout the year. Check out our website at kristv.com for dates and locations. The group 12,000 Trees for 2012 gave away free seedlings at today's recycling event. They did this at 3 other locations around the city as well. The giveaway is part of the group's efforts to plant more trees in the coastal bend. They passed out about 1,000 tree seedlings today, all drought resistant, like desert willows and Italian stone pines. Looks gorgeous. Well, hopefully we'll get a little more rain to help those seedlings grow. First Warning 6 meteorologist Juan Acuna is in the Weather Center for a first check on the forecast. Hey there, Juan.
Hey there, Melissa. Good evening, everyone.
Ready for that cool down. Thanks, Juan. An historic blizzard that pounded the northeast coast for the past 2 days is finally gone, but it didn't leave peacefully. Instead, the storm left a mess across 6 states. As Jay Gray explains, Massachusetts was hit the hardest.
Finally across the northeast.
Wow. Well, the roads are back open tonight, but still messy, and public transportation may not be back until Monday. And we checked flights leaving and coming out of the Corpus Christi International Airport, and as of now, none have been canceled or delayed because of that storm. In other news now, a secret cash mob helped boost business at a downtown clothing store today. Once a month, people from the group called Secret Corpus Christi Cash Mob go to a local small business and spend at least $10 there. They've been doing this for about a year now, so several businesses already benefited from the cash mob. The way it works, members of the group are invited to join the secret mob through Facebook, and every month they vote on a business to support. The second Saturday of each month, people in the mob shop at the selected business, and as you can imagine, owners and employees just love this idea.
I think it's such an awesome thing that we have local people that are willing to support local business, and then they're just secretly actually coming to help business owners to promote their business.
Talk about dedication. Volunteers have been working on a Columbus ship replica for months, and they're just about finished. The Nina's docked at Lawrence Street T-head. You've probably seen it there. It's one of 3 replica ships being restored. Today, they worked on putting up netting around the railings to make it safer for people who tour it. People helping with this project from the group, the Columbus Sailing Association, are doing all this work on their own time, but they say it'll be worth it when the ship is functioning again.
We want to go back to sailing there again on the bay, and we want to start up our sailing school where we teach people how to handle the lines, and we can take the ship out and go back 500 years.
500 years. All right. Well, the Pinta and Santa Maria are at the Science and History Museum. The Columbus Sailing Association plans to start restoring those ships next.
You're watching KRIS News at 6 in HD with Melissa Schroeder, First Warning 6 meteorologist Juana Cunha, and Drew Collins Sports. Here's what's coming up next on KRIS News.
The manhunt for a fugitive ex-Los Angeles police continues, and today investigators focus on a popular tourist spot. It may be okay in Romania, but people in other countries are horrified when they find out what kind of animal meat was mixed in with their imported beef. We'll be right back.
You're watching KRIS 6 News at 6 in HD.
Welcome back. The manhunt for an ex-Los Angeles police officer continued today. Police are looking for Christopher Dorner. He's suspected in the shooting deaths of a police officer, security officer, and his own fiancée, who's the daughter of a retired LA police captain. Online, Dorner lists that captain as one of many people he believes to be responsible for his 2008 dismissal from the LA Police Department. Police found Dorner's burned out truck at a lake resort on Thursday, but haven't found him just yet. A bus carrying soccer fans in Chile plunged into a 500-foot ravine today, throwing bodies all around. Police say the driver lost control of the bus near a mountain town and fell into a ravine nearly 500 feet deep. At least 16 people died in the accident that happened a couple hundred miles south of Chile's capital. Specialists are still trying to identify the bodies, and investigators are trying to figure out what led up to the accident. Flames destroyed a Puebla, Mexico textile factory overnight, but really made this fire dramatic was one person stuck inside. Police officers broke out windows to pull the man out of the building. 41 firefighters worked together to put out the fire, burning more than 100 tons of clothing inside the factory. Crews told people who live near the factory to leave the area. After 2 hours, firefighters got things under control and nobody was hurt. Authorities in Romania are defending their country's exportation of horse meat after some of it ended up in beef products in other countries. This is causing quite a controversy. People found horse meat in beef lasagna meals in Sweden, Britain, and France, and some of those meals contained between 60 and 100% horse meat instead of the beef. Romanian officials say they're investigating the claims that horse meat made it into beef products, but claim the country isn't responsible for how the horse meat is used once it leaves Romania. Well, pull out the parkas and boots. A cold front is moving in. Well, maybe not that cold. Juan, what's coming up in weather?
Oh, it's not going to be that cold, certainly. And an even stronger front comes late next week on around Friday. That will drop temperatures in the 60s, but actually Tuesday looks like the coolest day so far, so definitely cooler weather on there.
So funny. I know you're from Texas, but I'm from Ohio. That's not a cold front, Juan. I'm sorry.
Well, despite it still.
Yeah, it is for us, right?
Yes.
We'll see you again at 10. Have a good one, everyone.
Good night.